Hello, my name is Herb Gunther, representing Harris Hill residents against Tim Hortons drive-thru. Today I want to talk about the design standards for a traditional neighborhood. Again, if we go to traditional neighborhood, there are a whole bunch of standards that need to be met. And we did talk about the special exemption use permit, but today we're going to talk about the design standards. So we're going to go down to design standards, and there are three design standards. Well, there's A, B, C, and D. And under 2967A3, it says connections shall be provided from the site to the existing sidewalk system. Pedestrian and bicycles shall be accommodated in the site design. So they have to do this. Shall does not mean maybe or possibly. It means you will. It is a requirement. So if we go to the site plan that they have, you'll see that they need to provide a sidewalk from the existing sidewalk system from here out in the front to their building. And they also have to accommodate bicycles. There's a bike path out here that has to go to the building somehow. And they are supposed to accommodate something in this area for bicycles and bike racks. They don't provide that. There's also another sidewalk system on Harris Hill. They have to come off of that with a sidewalk and a bicycle path or something to accommodate as well. When you do that, you're losing a parking spot here. So that is one effect of having to institute this. You're impinging on the parking. But also, when you put this new thing in the front yard, the whole front yard now has to conform to the code, to the zoning code. And so this whole front area has to conform to the zoning code. And if you go back to the zoning code and you look down at item B1, it says all parking shall be located at the side or rear of the building. No parking shall be located in the front yard of the building. So once you put this connection in and you change the front yard lot, you now have to conform to this part of the building. This is a cascading effect here. Now I can't have any parking in the front. These two spots goes away. 1, 2, 3 spots also go away. So now you may only be left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spots is all you have left now for the site here. Now, having said that, if we go further on into the design code, you'll see that if the parking lot is located in the side yard, it must be partially screened from the road by low walls, fences, or hedges as approved by the town's landscape committee. Okay, if that's the case, we go back to our site plan and we put a low wall in. We put the low wall in, it's 2 feet wide, which is the detail they show on their drawing here, a 2 foot wide, dry stacked stone wall on some stone, compacted stone. And they have to put it on their property line because they put it out in the right of way. They have to go back to Erie County Department of Public Works and talk to them about it. So if they put this low wall as a screen on this side here to screen all that, that's great. They do that. But guess what? Their parking spaces are no longer the required 19 foot deep. They drop down to 16 feet. And right now, they're at only 18 feet for the width of their aisleway. If you go back to the zoning code and take a look at, well, where are parking lots? How big do my parking spaces need to be? If you go back to 22920, you'll see that there are parking requirements. And those parking requirements say that each parking space shall be at least 19 feet long and 9 feet wide. We don't have that on there once you conform to having to put up a screen here. And even if the screen is 1 foot wide, you're going to take away a foot from that thing, from your parking space. It does not conform. Furthermore, if you take a look at the code, it says the parking aisle width shall conform to the following table. So the aisle width in feet and the angle of the parking. So we have 90-degree parking and we have two-way traffic. If we look at that, you're required to have a 24 foot wide aisleway for two-way traffic at 90 degrees at 90-degree parking. Let's go back to our site plan. What do we have? We currently have only 18 feet as it's currently striped from the back of the parking to the here. It doesn't conform to the current code for parking. It's non-conforming. It's another thing that zoning should have picked up and they never did. So again, once you change the front, when you put the sidewalk and bicycle, which is required, and the side yard, which is required here, even if you just do it in the front, that's fine, but your side yard parking still has to be, screened, and that's going to impinge on the parking. So those are other things that we have found out in terms of design for the parking that is a problem with this. We don't think that conforms with the code. And as we said again yesterday, the applicant said, oh, in the winter, we're going to take our snow, we're going to put it in this spot right here because that's really the only place they think they can put it for their snow removal. So once you do that, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, you only have 5 spaces. If I only have 5 spaces, maybe 6 spaces, no, only 5 spaces, how did this get approved? There's not enough parking here. There is not enough parking here. So that is an issue we have with that design standard. If we go back to the design standards for our traditional neighborhood, go to our design standards, we come back down again. Parking lots shall not abut street intersections. This is a tricky one. I don't necessarily know this corner is abutting an intersection. It could be interpreted that way. If that's the case, you might lose another couple parking spaces. So could possibly be an issue. Adjacent parking lots shall have internal vehicular connections, which this does. On-street parking fronting the lot shall count towards fulfilling the parking requirements. There is no on-street parking out on Main Street. You can't park on this street here. So everything has to be internal. And right now, from looking at this, it doesn't seem to meet that part. Okay, let's go to the architecture. The architecture style of all new structures must be reviewed and approved by the town board and may be referred to the planning board for its review and recommendation. But the town board has the ultimate say in this here. All proposed structures must conform to any overlay zoning requirements. We don't have an overlay zoning here. Due to the visibility of the district, architectural compatibility is necessary in order to visually connect development and allow for proximity of varied uses. Again, some of this is subjective in terms of design. Item C4 says walls shall be clad in stone, brick, marble, cast concrete, vinyl siding, drive-in and hardy board, or other cement paneling. Metal paneling is prohibited. So right now, they have, all they're suggesting is they're going to do some sort of paneling here to go over the existing paneling, put the sign up here, and then put these small little dormers and a mansard roof. And the same thing on this side here, just put a little roof over this. They're going to punch some windows in here, put the glass in there. That's what they're doing. To me, that is really not sufficient. And I'm going to get into it with the next requirement here. If you go, it says, 2 wall materials may be combined horizontally on one facade. The heavy material must be below. Roof lines shall not be flat. So if you go back to the rendering here, even though they put this mansard roof on, it still reads as a flat roof. It's not supposed to be a flat roof. You have to complete this roof. So I would suggest that they need to put a sloped roof over the entire building. That is going to be something they need to do, because if you look at this elevation without the blue that I had put in for these roofs, that looks like a flat roof. That doesn't look sloped to me. And there's no flat roof, and there's no roof over the drive area over here. So that has to also be a sloped roof over that overhang on this side here. So that does not conform either. These should be enforced as part of the final design. Lastly, all rooftop equipment shall be enclosed in a building material that matches the structure or is visually compatible. They do that. So that they do. They're trying to cover the mechanical unit that's on the roof. As a reference, what I see down on the street here, this was Dean Architects. This was done a while back. And this is, I think, done very well. It's a good design here. They have a stone wall out in front. Notice no parking in the front. All their parking is on the inside of the site. And they just use some simple materials. They have some shakes here, a little bit of applied trim, fascia boards, shadow boards, some awning treatments. Simple. They have a stone base. And again, no flat roofs. Everything is sloped here. So something like that might be more compatible for the area here. Um, so I think there's a lot of improvement that can be done compared to what was submitted here. They're just they're not addressing these brick piers, which I think they should. Otherwise, they look a little modern. Just putting on these are just, in my opinion, a little weak. And really, these roofs have to be sloped. This looks like a flat roof. The mansard roof reads as a flat roof. That should be improved. The town should not accept this. The town should say, we want more for this. We want more for this area. You're giving everything to the developer. You're not getting anything in return. Oh, and by the way, they did restripe this lot on the side, which again, once you restripe this lot, you're improving that lot. It has to meet the current code. So there's a lot of things in here that don't quite make sense, and we would like to see done at minimum to improve this building in this area here. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Take care.